Hello, time travelers, and welcome, new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning about history, one event at a time, not only from the US, but also from around the world, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1751 when Allied Christian forces defeated the Ottoman Turks during a naval engagement at the Battle of Lepanto. Now we're going to move on to 1765 when the Stamp Act Congress convened in New York City to frame solutions of the rights and grievances of the American colonists. 15 years later, in 1780, American forces defeated British loyalists at the Battle of Kings Mountain during the American Revolution. Now let's stop in 1826 when the Granite Railway, the first charter railroad in the United States, began service. I didn't realize that. I guess it actually was that old. Anyway, in 1949, American short story writer, poet, and critic Edgar Allan Poe died in Baltimore, Maryland. I didn't realize that he was alive almost 70 years ago. No, 50 to 2000. About 75. Okay. Anyway, 10 years later, in 1944, Dumbarton Oaks Conference, in which the United States, China, the Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom formulated proposals for a world organization that became the basis for the United Nations, concluded in Washington, D.C. On this day in 1949, a constitution went into effect in the Soviet occupation zone of Germany that formed the country of East Germany, which existed alongside West Germany until 1990, when the two Germanies reunited. So that means current country of Germany is like 34 years old. They're as old as my brother. Anyway, let's make a stop in 1952 when Russian politician Vladimir Putin, who served as president and prime minister of Russia, was born. 3 years later, in 1955, cellist Yo-Yo Ma, who was known for his extraordinary technique and rich tone, was born in Paris. 4 years later, in 1959, the romantic comedy Pillow Talk was released nationwide in the United States. It was the first of several on-screen pairings of actors Rock Hudson and Doris Day. In 1971, the American crime thriller The French Connection, directed by William Friedkin and starring Gene Hackman, had its world premiere in New York City and Los Angeles. The movie, which won the Oscar for Best Picture, is especially known for featuring one of the most exciting and iconic car chases in cinema history. In 1985, members of the Palestine Liberation Front, a small faction headed by Abu Abbas within the Palestine Liberation Organization, or the PLO, hijacked an Italian cruise ship, the Achille Lauro. Now, 4 years before the turn of the century, in 1996, Fox News Channels, a satellite and cable news network created by Roger Ailes for Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation, was launched in the United States. 2 years later, in 1998, drivers on the Paris metro strike demanded improved protection against violent passengers. A year after the turn of the century and our final event, in 2001, triggered by the September 11th attack, the Afghanistan War began as U.S. and British warplanes started bombing Taliban targets. And with that, let's head over to the animal kingdom for our 56th animal fact. Greenland sharks are the largest living vertebrates on Earth, with one individual thought to be over 400 years old. Greenland sharks are giant, reaching up to 5 meters in length, and live in cold, deep waters of the North Atlantic. They are rarely seen, and little is known about them. Now, let's head into the science lab for our 56th science fact. Okay, this one's creepy. Platypuses sweat milk. This is because it doesn't have teats. Milk appears as sweat on platypuses, but it's an aquatic mammal, so it doesn't actually sweat at all. I don't know how to feel about that. So, if you enjoy learning about history, one event at a time, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe and turn on all notifications. I'll see you all on the next one.